Darkly Dreaming Dexter. Epilogue. I know is a nearly human weakness, and it may no more be than ordinary sentimentality, but I've always loved funerals. For one thing, they are so clean, so neat, so completely given over to careful ceremonies. And this was really a very good one. It had rows of blue uniformed policemen and women, the guns carefully folding of the flag, all the trimmings a proper and wonderful show for the deceased. She had been, after all, one of our own, a woman who had served with the few, the proud, or is that the Marines? No matter. She had been a Miami cop, and Miami cops know how to throw a funeral for one of their own. They have had so much practice. Oh, Deborah, I sighed very softly. And of course I knew she couldn't hear me, but it really did seem like the right thing to do, and I wanted to do this right. I almost wished I could summon up a tear or two to wipe away. She and I had been very close, and it had been a messy and unpleasant death. No way for a cop to go. Hacked to death by a homicidal maniac. Rescue had come too late. It was all over long before anyone could get to her, and yet, by her example of selfless courage, she had helped show how a cop should live and die. I'm quoting, of course, but that's the gist of it. Really very good stuff. Quite moving if one has anything inside that can be moved, which I don't. But I know it when I hear it, and this was the real thing. And very much caught up in the silent bravery of the officers and their clean blues and the weeping of civilians, I could not help myself. I sighed heavily. Oh, Deborah. I sighed a little louder this time, almost feeling it. Dear, dear Deborah. Quiet, you moron, she whispered, and poked me hard with her elbow. She looked lovely in her new outfit, a sergeant at last. The least they could do for her after all her hard work identifying and nearly catching the Tamiami slasher. With the APB out on him, no doubt they would find my poor brother sooner or later. If he didn't find them first, of course. Since I had been just reminded so forcefully that my family is important, I did hope that he could stay free. And Deborah would come around, and now that she had accepted her promotion, she really wanted to forgive me, and was already more than half convinced of the wisdom of Harry. We were family, too, and that had shown in the end, hadn't it? It was not such a great leap to accept me as I was, after all, was it? Things being what they are, what they have, in fact, always been. I sighed again. Quit it, she hissed, and nodded at the far end of the line of stiff Miami cops. I glanced where she indicated. Sergeant Dokes glared at me. He had not taken his eyes off me, not once the whole time. Even when he had dropped his handful of earth on Detective LaGuardia's coffin, he was so very sure that things were not what they seemed. I knew with a total certainty that he would come for me now. Track me like the hound that he was, snort at my footsteps and sniff at my back trail, and hunt me down, bring me to bay for what I have done and what I would have quite naturally done again. I squeezed my sister's hand with my other hand. I fingered the cool, hard edge of glass slide in my pocket. One small drop of dried blood that would not go into the grave with the Guarda, but forever live on in my shelf. It gave me comfort, and I did not mind Sergeant Dokes or whatever he thought I did. How could I? How could I mind? He could no more control who he was and what he did anyone else, more than anyone else could. he would comfort me. Truly, what else could he do? What can any of us do, helpless as we all are in the grip of our own little voices? What indeed can we do? I really wished I could shed a tear. It was all so as beautiful as the next moonful would be, when I would call Sergeant Dokes, and things would go on as they were, as they had always been beneath that lovely bright moon, that wonderful, fat, musical red moon. Acknowledgments. This book would not have been possible without the generous technical and spiritual help of Einstein and the Deacon. They represent what is best about Miami cops, and they taught me some of what it means to do this very tough job in a tougher place. I would also like to thank a number of people who made some very helpful suggestions, especially my wife, the Barclays, Julius S., Dr. and Mrs. A.L. Frundlich, Pookie, Bear, and Tinky. I am deeply indebted to Jason Kaufman for his wisdom and insight in shaping the book. Thanks also to Doris, Lady of the Last Laugh, and very special thanks to Nick Ellison, who is everything an agent is supposed to be, but almost never is. The end. Stay tuned. I'm going to start reading the rest of the books because you guys have asked for it. So because you asked for it, you guys get it.